Hi folks, this is Larry Heather. I'm your independent social credit candidate for Calgary-Lougheed, December 14th by-election 2017. I'm here talking about the Liberal Party leader who's running here in this by-election. His name is David Kahn, just newly elected a few months ago to take leadership for the Liberal Party from David Swan. So if you want to look at their motto, forward thinking. Forward thinking. So that is supposed to be a march into the future, from the less better to the better, from the least developed to the more developed. And yet David is openly declaring his homosexuality as a party leader, one of the first to be a party leader, as it were. Marches in the shame parade here in Calgary every September, Labor Day weekend. And you have to think, how forward is that? Now, in the old King James English, you have a very similar related word. If you look at this word forward, just switch the R with the O and you get froward. Froward, which means out of order, disorganized, out of place. And I think that's more indicative of the Liberal values. If the Liberal Party of Alberta identifies with Justin Trudeau's Liberals, and you could see their stance on immigration, on national identity, on national defense, on national debt, you see some very unsavory associations. Now David's trying to say, well, I'm more fiscally conservative than the NDP, and presumably against more fiscally conservative than Justin Trudeau and the federal Liberals. I really don't think so. The values aren't going to take you there towards restraint, towards planning for the future, for the integrity of the family unit, which is the dynamo that would build our economy back up, build our societal fabric deeper. That can't be accomplished on liberal values on sexuality. We can only see a decline from this. Because people say, well, look, we've been secular for many years in our government and we're still doing pretty good. That's the momentum from the past still speaking, folks. That's our Christian values, our biblical worldview that it still had so much power behind it. It's still keeping us somewhat together. But I tell you, it's like an overhanging where you have a building on the side of a hill and the flood washes away the ground underneath until there's a very thin layer of support for what the superstructure, the building on top. And then one day, it could be a wind, it could be a rainstorm, it could be a cyclone, whatever. All of a sudden it collapses. Everything just goes down very suddenly, without warning. That's where our society is today in Alberta and in Canada. Our moral value structure has been eaten away from underneath. And the superstructure and the momentum of the past has a point where it just runs out. It just runs out and there's a sudden collapse. A collapse in fiscal economic viability, a collapse in political cooperation, a collapse in moral compatibility, moral structure, a collapse in the family to such an extent that you end up with chaos and anarchy. So I'm saying you need to get back to the values of the past. I ask for your vote as the independent social credit candidate in Calgary-Lougheed, December 14th. My name is Larry Heather. Thank you very much.